Hi everyone and welcome back. We are in episode 7 of King's Crossing, rejoining my characters, Grunkle, Torvekek, and now the new Carwyn. We joined them at a perilous time in their lives as they hurtled down a winter road in the middle of a snowstorm, chased by the most hideous monsters they've encountered, called hunger shades. These things very clearly feasting on the emotions and feelings of their victims rather than the physical damaging sort. After recently carving into Grunkle, who stands alongside Torvekek in the caged wagon in the company of the Lost Sons, with Carwyn riding on top of the cage, you guys are headed straight towards a chasm with a single stone bridge running across it. A large, imposing drop down to the bottom of this ravine. As you guys hurtle towards this, there is a hunger shade on either side of the prison wagon and one on top of the cargo wagon in front of you. 2 horses right at the front, paving the way ahead. 1 horse rides behind, panicking about the scene that is unfolding ahead of them. And it's at this point that I am going to drop us into a combat encounter. We should have done this prior, but we may do. I am going to add each of these characters to the combat encounter. Does someone want to coach Carwyn on how to roll their initiative? Cool, I'll do it.
So what you do, you go to the cross swords if it's not already there. I mean, if it's already there. I don't know if Wrath has done that yet, but yeah, so all that stuff's on there. You go to the cross swords on your right hand side, and then there'll be a d20 for you to click, and that happens.
Okay. So to this point, that Carwyn has first action, you have a quick reaction as the scene unfolds. What do you do?
Well, considering the people in the caravan up front are currently being devoured from last I heard, I'd like to shoot off an arrow in that direction.
Absolutely. And this creature has a -2 from last episode. In episode 5, they were our players took turns shouting at the enemies, scaring them basically into having an easier time to hit them. So, easier time to damage them. So, it would be a normal attack from your, I believe it's a longbow?
Hunting bow.
Hunting bow, excuse me.
So, standard.
Oh my god, we're starting out strong with a critical fail right out the gate.
Goodness.
Before we continue, this doesn't help you because it's crit fail, but it's a new episode, which means all fortune points start back on your side of the table. Again, this doesn't help you as you have a critical fail.
Yeah.
Those misfortune points did some work last episode. As I exploded damage and was able to bring Grunkle down to 1 step away from being in a catatonic state, I believe.
Yeah, no, Grunkle is firmly in goth phase.
He is, yeah. Okay, so you fire off your bow, but as you do, the wagon rocks once again as it goes over some uneven ground and the arrow flies off into the distance. You have 2 other action points you can use on your turn. Is there anything you would like to do? I will once again pull up the sheet for you guys to look at of different actions you guys can take in combat so you guys can prepare yourselves for your turns.
Can I spend until next turn doing the take aim? So spend the remaining 2?
Absolutely. Take aim. So using your last 2 action points would give you a plus 20 base chance to hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just like write that down.
Yeah, write that down just because more than likely I'll forget. Okay. That is going to bring us to that is going to bring us to the Lost Sons. Now, the Lost Sons, I have some actions I need to take here. They are in a pickle. They're not in the pickle. They're just in a pickle. First roll. The wagons get jostled around by this uneven road as they continue to plow down this hill towards this ravine, but they maintain course. They do not lose control in the snowy conditions. They're headed straight towards this rocky bridge. Now, those that are able are trying to fight off the shades that are engaged. Can they, though? They can, actually. I rolled the wrong check, but actually, ignore that. That didn't happen. We're gonna roll again because I pulled the pickles and rolled the wrong check. You guys haven't given me any misfortune points. They failed. So the rangers try and attack these creatures. They fail, and I am not able to re-roll that. Is there anyone capable of doing melee that is in reach? Grunkle, you were recently holding the Althrandir. Are you still holding him?
I
can't remember where we
think
left
I
it at.
fell, but I kept trying to keep him on. So I'd like to believe that the legacy of keeping the Althrandir on maybe helped him.
I don't believe you were still holding him, which means he is free to move. So he is going to reach around.
I'm not touching him now.
And once again, I fail, and I have no misfortune points to use. Again, misfortune points can come in handy because they can help your allies as well. So the Rangers of the Lost Suns begin shooting arrows at these creatures to no avail. The melee people who are able to attack start trying to stab and attack, also unable to make any kind of dents in this. That is going to bring us to Torvekek. Torvekek,
Yes.
You recently had an idea. What would you like to do on your turn?
So let me ask some person. Does using my shadow take a action?
What I would like to do is for you to open up your character sheet.
Yes.
If you open up your character sheet and you go to the background tab,
Si, senor.
under character notes, you should see something that might help you out.
So he can only trip or restrain?
For now, that's what you have been able to learn how to control.
Okay.
Grunkle, you should be able to also open your character sheet, go to the background, and under character notes, you can see something there. And I believe, Carwyn, you already knew that, right? I told you that? Or no?
I think so.
Okay. When you open up, I think I told you in DMs that you could check that before the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Torvekek, what would you like to do?
All right. So how does damage to my shadow work? Can it take damage?
I don't think anything's ever damaged it.
All right, cool. I'm going to have it grab onto the arm of one of the things that's been attacking us in the cage,
Okay.
and then I'm going to poke it with a stick.
Okay. So you are wanting your shadow creature that is attached to you to, is it restrain? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it needs to rise. It's gonna force them to make a coordination test to avoid being restrained. Okay. That is awesome. Okay, sweet. So they need to make a test here. Coordination test. Torvekek, do you still have that open? Was it challenging?
Hang on. I don't think it actually said. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh, here we go. It had more stuff.
I'm looking.
Restraining Torvekek shadow rises and coils around the target, forcing them to make a coordination test challenging to avoid
Challenging.
being restrained.
Okay. So it needs to be a challenging roll. I'm gonna roll this available for everyone to see. It
Damn.
succeeds. And I, as the DM, can't re-roll that to try and fail because I don't have any misfortune points. Okay. Not that I would, but I might. You don't know. So your shadow reaches out, and I'm gonna allow Carwyn, what were you doing? You fired off. Did you? You went already, right?
So I took my turn,
Oh.
and now I'm waiting. I'm aiming.
Yeah, that's right. You're aiming. Okay. Also, because I re-triggered your guys' combat states, I had to re-add you to the character sheet. You guys are still gonna get to take your turns here, but I had to re-add you to the combat counter. Sorry about that. Okay. So Carwyn, you're aiming at this creature, trying to lock in so you wouldn't see this. Grunkle, you're somewhat familiar with this. You're down there, you see it as the shadow of Torvekek on the floor rises up, kind of reaching up the bars and trying to grab onto this creature. But it can't find a hold as the arm remains unrestrained. Torvekek, I believe you still have 2 actions. What would you like to do?
Yes, I'm gonna make a called shot. Just 1 point.
Okay.
And stab him in the face.
I'm pulling up called shot just to make sure that I know what we're talking about here. Called shot. Okay. Called shot is 2 action points.
I thought it said 1 or 2. No, take aim. Sorry.
Oh, take aim. Okay, take aim. Yes, you can get a plus 10%, and then you were trying to
stab it.
Yeah, and that's any attack action. Yeah, sweet. That doesn't need to be ranged. Okay. You can roll your attack with we'll move it to routine.
Roger. Yay!
That is a hit. And this one has a -2 to its current damage threshold. Let me pull up its character sheet, make sure that I got this right. Okay, that would put it down to that. Okay, I am ready. You can roll damage. Wait, has it? It used its turn. It's not going to be able to parry you.
9.
After being screamed at by an ogre and a woman, you reach out, bringing your pitchfork down into this thing's arm, piercing straight through the crystalline rock, puncturing it and damaging it. You see this creature reel and try and pull its arm back. I need to know your pitchfork. Reach, slow, and weak. Okay, so it's not any kind of restraining or anything like that. Okay.
No.
So you puncture this thing, pulling your pitchfork back. You still maintain control of it, and it reels its arm back out of the cage.
Step 1 complete.
That is your turn. That brings us to Grunkle. Grunkle, what would you like to do?
Wipe away my my mascara that is like draining down my face.
Mm-hmm.
No, Grunkle is not goth right now, but he is going to draw on his last berserker instincts to just kind of swipe angrily at the claws that might still be clawing at him. Is it possible to do that?
Not angrily, but yeah.
Okay, yeah, passive aggressively. I'll swing. I will. Like, I will try. I want to try and make it stop. I think is what Grunkle would do.
Yeah,
he would know a losing fight. Yeah, I guess I would.
You have 3 action points. Are you wanting to take aim?
Well, that's a loaded question because Grunkle has a disability where if he tries to take aim, it takes 1 more point than usual.
That's right. Well, you could take aim once and attack. I'll give you a plus 10% to attack. And this creature has a -2 to its damage threshold. Not its attack.
Grunkle is just so hard to motivate right now. But I think that's what he'll do.
Okay.
That's something he's not used to doing. That's not his berserker code. He'll
I think it's more like Grunkle realizes he has to focus and he's like, "Oh, come on." Like trying to make sure that he's keeping his focus.
Yeah, and maybe he's hearing like some of his mentors from the Rockar Legion being like, You're worthless. You're never gonna be anything but a Grunkle.
Just echoing in his
And
head. I'm gonna need a
so he's
roll
going to
at
aim
routine.
and try. Trappings unarmed, barehanded. Sorry.
At routine.
Oh yeah, because
You're aiming.
sorry, I'm just not used to being pull 24 to 57.
Okay, I don't know what your barehanded damage could be, but let's see if it beats their weakened state.
Well, I learned a lot of things going through my background, and none of them apply here. So
Okay.
eat lead.
Oh, and
Is it 12 good?
I didn't ask Torvekek this, but do you want to explode?
Me?
I should have asked. I'll give it to Torvekek. Sure. Torvekek, did you want to explode your damage with a fortune point?
I mean, we've got 4, right?
You've got 4.
Let's do it. 15.
It became a 15,
Yes.
and they have a weakened. Let me see. They have a weakened. Oh, what's that? Oh. You mauled its arm when you punctured it with the pitchfork. Like, it was very like damaged where its arm became like limp and it pulled its arm back. Grunkle,
Awesome.
would you like to explode with a fortune point?
I really would.
Okay.
Grunkle needs a win at this point.
God.
That's not really a win, is it?
19? I mean,
Yeah, 19.
Pretty
It's
good.
like a passive success.
Grunkle, you reach out and just punch straight into this thing's hand, like launching it back into its arm, snapping its wrist, as it also reels its hand back, limp wristed. Damn, okay. This is
I've had that wound.
turned on its head here.
Torn shoulder.
One thing I didn't do, however, is add the creatures to the turn order. Okay, so they're just going to take their turn last here. Both of them are going to... You guys see both of them drop off the wagon, landing on the ground, and you don't see them chasing. You don't see them running. You do, however, see them walking after you.
Strange.
It's going to bring us to Carwyn. Carwyn, you've been taking aim at the one up front that has been feasting. What would you like to do?
Well, I would like to use Kestrel's Swift Dive.
Oh, okay.
Can I use it twice or once?
Once.
Okay.
Dive. Okay. Action if they fail a resolve check at routine. Okay. Yeah, you are able to do that. Which one are you targeting?
I'm gonna target the one in front.
Okay. You guys are very clearly able to see a bird that has been circling overhead. You've seen this bird before. You saw it back at the massacre on the roadway. This bird is obviously notable for its piercing blue eyes and glowing blue wings. This bird is Grunkle. You would know this bird is Fey touched. As out of the sky, this thing soars down and flies around the face of this hunger shade that is on the cargo wagon. And it rears its head up, kind of trying to follow this bird and chase this bird. It is distracted. What would you like to do, Carwyn?
I would then like to... Am I close enough to hit it with a whip? This is a yard.
You've been
think
aiming
they're
your bow at
probably a
it.
bit
Do you want to
further.
change weapons?
Oh, yeah. I've been aiming the bow. Yeah, I'll shoot it.
Okay, you have a plus 20. You still have 2 action points left. I don't.
Well,
Could
the
you
one with pistol
take
does
aim
take a point.
again? Yeah, it does take 1 point, so you have 2 points
Yeah,
left.
can I do?
They can. Grunkle can't.
Yeah, Grunkle
So
can.
can I
I would
take
say
aim
screw it. You could
for
take aim
one?
1 more point and have a plus 30%, making this a trivial check.
Yeah,
Why not?
I'll do that.
Let's do it. Absolute success, obviously. This thing has spent
Woohoo.
all its action points. So you just get to roll damage, and we'll see. This thing does have a -2 to its damage threshold.
Oh,
That is not great. You have 2 fortune points left. Would you like to explode with fortune?
I think I will. Yeah.
That's a big explosion. That from 5 to
That's
14.
a lot better. Yeah. Feel
And
better about that.
absolutely, your arrow finds its mark, embedding itself straight through the crystalline rocks in its shoulder blade. Grunkle is familiar with this, as its left arm it just goes as you impale it from behind, and its whole arm just goes limp as it sits there trying to catch this bird that's flying around its head.
Can I tell if the people it was trying to eat are eaten?
I will allow you to
Or if they're
roll
okay.
an awareness check, and from your vantage point up high, I'm going to give it to you for routine plus your bird would give you a easy check. Yep.
Yay.
You were able to see that a young boy with curly brown hair has a dagger out, just swiping at this thing. You see the woman who's standing next to you, or sitting next to you, I should say, also has a dagger out. Both are just swiping at this thing, trying to their attacks kind of glinting off the glinting. That's a word. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're glancing. That's probably the word I meant. Off the crystalline rock. You see the driver of the wagon as the wagon careens. I'm using words. I don't know what they mean.
No, careens is correct there.
Careens towards this rock bridge. You see the driver is in a completely dead, catatonic state. Physically alive. Catatonic state.
Okay.
And it's at this point you can tell no one is actively driving that wagon. We're going to move to Lost Sons. Lost Sons. They don't have a driver for that wagon. I do have a driver for this wagon, so we are going to roll not a good check. Roll. Okay. The horses of the cargo wagon seem to be keeping it on the road without a driver actively engaging them. The driver of the prisoner wagon is unhindered and able to drive his wagon perfectly fine. They are both headed straight towards the rock bridge. On your next turn, you're going to be heading onto the rock bridge. The Rangers of the Lost Sons are going to attack. You still have all your Rangers. They are able to attack no problem and succeed. And the Hunger Shade that is still on the carriage has a -2 to their damage. And I have misfortune points. I'm going to explode this attack with misfortune as... No. As up ahead, Carwyn, you're the only one who sees this. Up ahead, one of the 2 horsemen that rode past you, 2 females, the one up in front turns around on their horse. As their horse is riding that way, they turn around, pulling their bow, and launch a shot straight into this creature. It swooping around, looking at your bird. It goes straight through its neck, and it rocks back, falling off the cargo wagon. This is the first and only time you've ever seen a Hunger Shade die. There are no current Hunger Shades on top of the wagons. There are 2 following behind, and 1 that you guys last saw in the woods. Brings us to their turn.
Damn, I don't have ride or pilot.
Actually, while I think about what they want to do, Torvekek, did you want to take your turn? I'll allow it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. What would you like to do? You have 3
So-
action points plus a free one because you're awesome.
So the only one we know, so they're all off the cards, right?
There were 2 on the prison cage. They both hopped off and were walking behind you towards the bridge. There was one on top of the cargo wagon, which is now fallen dead on the side of the road.
Okay, but there's nobody driving the cargo wagon. I can't do anything about the ones. walking
You're
behind
not
us.
aware of what's going on the cargo wagon.
Okay.
You can't see that. Carwyn has
Gotcha.
seen that. So, yes,
All right.
but you don't know.
Yes, but no. I guess the only thing I can really do is ask if anybody's seen what happened to the one that was in the woods. Because there's nothing for me to attack unless I just want to.
I will allow you to roll.
Drill.
You can look, but you can also ask. But I
Yeah.
will allow you to look. It's going to be a routine awareness.
Routine.
Mhm.
Fuck.
Would you like to reroll?
No, hang on to it.
Okay. You ask. I will allow anyone to respond real quick.
Does anyone know what happened to the last one that was in the woods over there?
All
Would
is
we-
not.
Can I would have to roll to determine if I can see it, right?
I can't remember. You were aware of the one in the woods, weren't you?
I think I
Yeah,
was the
with
only one
the-
that was aware of it.
I got a test from
Oh,
test
okay.
roll.
Yeah, you saw everything. So, yeah, you could roll a quick. It would be a routine awareness, which would be an easy awareness for you. You are 100% aware of where this creature is, as it is walking up next to the rock bridge
Oh no.
from the woods. So it's walking up to the rock bridge. You guys are hurtling towards the rock bridge, about to cross onto it, and the 2 are walking up behind you guys.
Okay. Would they be able to even hear me over like the noise of the carriage and everything?
You're directly above them.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, like, because
Yes.
of the
The
gore
people
happening
ahead of
everywhere
you?
around. No. Well, yeah. I mean, that would be helpful.
You're not sure. The people beneath you would definitely be able to hear you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only sound going on right now is the sound of the wagons bouncing on this
Mhm.
rough road and
Okay.
horses galloping.
Mm-hmm. Well, she would say, the shade is ahead in the path.
Okay, so do I notice if the 2 riders react at all?
2 riders up ahead.
Yeah.
You do not.
Or do I not see them either? Okay.
Yeah, it's 1, it would be a tough check to see them, and 2, they haven't had a chance to react. It's still your turn.
But you said my voice is booming, correct?
I did make that canon.
So if I repeated it, would they be able to hear me?
I would allow you to roll a check to see. I would allow them to roll a check to see.
Okay.
You are not sure if they would hear you. I would.
There's a
check.
shade ahead of the bridge. See if they hear.
Let's find out. I will tell you. They have this trained.
Oh, nice. Well, they're rangers, so that's a good thing.
They do hear you. They seem to be reacting.
Yes.
So that is, I believe, 1 action point out of your library. You have 2 more. What would you like to do with your turn?
No. I have the leadership skill. So
You
I can
absolutely do.
I can do the inspiring word thing, right?
You absolutely could. I would need to know what you want to say.
Yes. Let me look up inspiring word real quick. Where is it on here? Inspiring words. Okay, it's just 1 point. Add +1 damage and peril threshold. Use once per combat. Okay.
So just as much as you guys made the enemies easier to hurt inspiring words would make you guys easier to or harder to hit, I believe.
All right, let's try this.
That would have helped Grunkle
We're almost
a little
through
bit
this.
ago.
They're almost gone. We've almost escaped. We need to keep moving.
I would absolutely love that.
All right, and then this needs to be
And
a leadership check.
Yeah, hang on. Is there inspiring words? What is your current damage tracker?
Lightly wounded,
You were lightly wounded, so it is a routine leadership check.
and then I have a +10 already.
Sweet.
Yes,
Easy. 13 out of 56. You call it out. Everyone remember. First of all, what is your fellowship bonus?
Fellowship is 2.
2. Okay. You need to pick 2 people that get this bonus.
The Rangers are probably in the best position to do something about that thing at the bridge, right?
You want to pick the 2 up front?
Yes, let's take the 2 guys that have been keeping me prisoner.
You
the
call out to
2
them,
Rangers.
boosting them. Okay. So that gives them a +1 to damage threshold and peril threshold, correct?
Let me double check, but I think so.
Pretty good. They're pretty good.
Yes,
Okay.
+1 damage and peril threshold.
I believe you have 1 action point left.
I do, yes. I'm not sure what to do with it, to be completely honest with you. Gonna knock out Grunkle. No, I'm kidding.
Now's your chance. He's left the camera. Let's see. Wait until later to use your action point. That would be useful for like parry and dodge, but you get that action free. You could take aim for next turn if just in case something comes back into the cage. You could take an attack at +10.
Yeah, let's just do that.
Okay. Remember, note to yourself that you have a +10 take aim for next turn.
Roger.
That brings us to Grunkle. Grunkle, what would you like to do?
Grunkle wants to admit he's a bad player and had to step away for a second there.
It's okay. I don't think you missed anything. You saw Torvekek give his inspiring cheer to the Lost Sons, and then you see him wield his pitchfork and start looking around, ready to stab anything that comes near you or him.
Oh, that's right. Actually, I remembered where Grunkle's mental peril is, and he's gonna probably lay down and cower on the floor of this cage. Grunkle is named Grunkle for a reason. He's not given a traditional ogre name. He's worthless. He has been fed upon. Correct?
Depressed Grunkle is the saddest thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, so he's just gonna lay on the floor, and if there's any like nice dusty morsels that he can use his tongue to like just lick, he will, because he is merely a Grunkle.
There's a dead body.
I still have more dignity than that.
Okay, fair enough.
For at least 20 minutes.
You have 2 other action points. Do you?
Oh no,
I can't even allow
Grunkle
you
is.
to roll to cry.
You won't let me roll to cry?
Your character doesn't want to cry. Doesn't need to cry.
Yeah, no. Grunkle is just going to occupy the floor for his turn, I guess, because
Okay.
he's feeling like Grunkle is bad vibes.
That brings us to Carwyn. Carwyn, you are very easily able to see. You know, you guys are headed right for this rocky bridge. You're about to cross onto it. A creature is walking out in front of the caravan. One of these hunger shades, strolling out from the woods. The 2 behind you are strolling up behind you, just walking. What does Carwyn do? I don't believe you have any other held items or held actions. You didn't have any aims after your attack, so.
I think I want to do 2 points of aim and then an attack on the one in front.
2 points of aim and another attack. Okay, that's going to be a easy attack from your hunter's bow.
All right.
That's a success. You are able to roll damage.
Oh.
Would you like to explode with fortune point?
I think I will.
Okay. This one has not been hit yet. And now it has. You launch an arrow at this one that's walking up. It seems to be on all fours, just kind of strolling out in front of the wagon. When all of a sudden, an arrow pierces its back leg, kind of going right through, like where its calf would be, as it's nonchalantly, like totally cocky, just strolling out, and all of a sudden it turns and is like, "What the hell?" Like, as you hear this guttural, ear-piercing roar, kind of release from this thing for the first time. Carwyn, I don't know if you ever would have heard these creatures roar before. They always have the advantage. They always know what's going to happen. They're very smart creatures. They have a plan. They hunt. They don't hunt unless they already know how the outcome's going to be. So these things knew you guys were dead as soon as they took off after you. They had a plan. It seems like that's changed. And they're starting to act differently than you've seen them before. One just died. One just turned and roared. This isn't going according to plan. You can tell that. That is your full turn. That brings us to Torvekek.
I don't know what you want me to do.
Your cage is not locked.
This is correct.
The wagon is currently still hurtling down a hill, about to cross over onto a stony bridge.
Yes, but we also have a thing that's back behind us that wants to eat my two things back behind us that want to eat all my emotions.
Absolutely. You've seen Grunkle has curled up in the fetal position on the floor.
I'm going to walk over to Grunkle. Grunkle.
Now's your chance. Oh. I thought this was going a different direction. Sorry. It'd be a lot better reaction from Pickles if we could hear him.
You're muted, Pickles.
I was just saying, like, that's the entire speech is just Grunkle. And Grunkle's like, yeah, that motivates me. Whoa! I never thought of it that way.
Grunkle. He pokes him with the backside of the pitchfork, not the sharp end, the other side.
Right.
Get up. There's flowers.
I will allow you to roll a charm check if Grunkle allows it.
Yeah, I feel like that's the best way to decide how Grunkle answers.
This is not trained at all.
I will give you. I'm going to allow it to be routine because you are targeting something that Grunkle, has filled Grunkle's heart in the past.
Grunkle, there's still flowers you must smell.
That's
wrong. It's eat.
Damn it!
That's wrong. It's
you have one fortune point left. Would you like to reroll?
Guys, what do you think?
I say go for it.
And Grunkle's kind of a throwaway character, so I don't know.
Damn it!
Oh no!
Grunkle's kind of a throwaway character.
Oh, it's so close!
Grunkle, do you say anything in return to this?
Grunkle not... sorry. Grunkle only kill flowers. Grunkle worthless.
Torvekek?
Bad vibes.
I'll be honest, I've lost count. Do you have any action points left?
I just started this turn.
Okay, I couldn't remember for the life of me. Okay, you've used one. You have 2 action points left. What would you like to do?
Is it out of the realm of possibility to keep trying to convince Grunkle to get the fuck up?
You've used charm I would allow you to use a different tactic.
Grunkle's fingernails are painted black at this point.
So
Just-
Every time the camera pans to him, he just looks a little bit more emo.
like you pan away, you pan back, and he's just like his hair is just back like
Pan away,
slick
pan
with-
back. He's got like ripped
There's just-
jeans.
there's just
Yeah,
a
so-
white streak through it, you know.
So now I have a mohawk, and it's just to like represent how I feel about society.
Okay, so
I need character
Grunkle
art
is
of
in the
this.
military.
If anyone in the comments can draw, we need emo
Please.
Grunkle.
It's a pink
Please.
mohawk now, just because I feel like ogres.
If
are-
anyone can't draw, your job is to come up with a name for emo Grunkle. Like we have Drunkle, and we have, I believe I named Punkle as he punches people. We
I don't
need a-
like Drunkle.
No, Drunkle screwed you. We need an emo Grunkle name.
I'm gonna try leadership because we're both been in the military.
Okay, I would allow a leadership check. What do you say?
I'm going to take my pitchfork, slam the butt of it in the ground. Ogre, get up! We have fighting to do. And then I'm gonna roll leadership.
I will allow again a routine check because you're pulling on the military background of Grunkle.
I agree,
Son of a bitch!
and I
No,
think
you don't, Grunkle.
Damn it. I was gonna say I feel like there's also a shame aspect to Grunkle's character. He's a bad ogre, berserker specifically, and more specifically, he failed his military role before.
In any normal instinct, this would snap Grunkle to immediately. But he remains on the floor in the fetal position. You have one action point remaining, Torvekek. What would you like to do?
You ever listen to My Chemical Romance?
Sorry.
You could try intimidating him.
I can't do it. I've already done it once.
No,
Blink 182 is also pretty good.
You charmed him and you leadershiped him. You haven't intimidated him. No, not litany of hatred, just intimidating
Okay.
Grunkle.
Litany of hatred, Grunkle.
Don't let
Oh
me
man, that actually
That
might
would
be
be
the
the
winning
worst.
move.
What the hell?
I guess I'm gonna try and intimidate.
Okay, what do you say to Grunkle?
Grunkle, if you ever want to be worth your name as an ogre, if you ever want to be worth anything, you will get up. Get up and fight like an ogre. Get up and fight better than an ogre.
Okay.
Do it.
Intimidating him with shame. I will allow
Yeah.
this at a routine check. How many fails can we get in a row for Torvekek? Let's go!
Not that one.
Grunkle, how do you respond to utter shame if you stay here on the floor?
So flattery doesn't work. Good leadership doesn't work. But threats of violence,
Belittling you.
belittling me. Okay.
It tracks.
Daisy.
Love you.
What does Grunkle
Grunkle will be like sputtering angrily as if he's being threatened towards Torvekek, and it like drool will come out of his mouth and he'll like spit about, but then he'll realize at the end of it, as he's preparing not to eat Torvekek, because he'd never do that, unless he had like a red wine and like various number of sauces and spices.
Now's not the time, Grunkle.
He was not fantasizing about eating Torvekek here until the
Not
end,
at
where
all.
like where it was fixed and everything, and now he gets up and he's like, yes, must do what have to do. But that's actually probably muted because of his condition. Yes, Wrath.
Yeah.
So it's more
Must.
like must do
Yep.
What? Yeah. You guys actually got to hear what it was like in my mental canon.
That is going to bring us to Lost Sons, who are acting as they drive their wagons out onto the bridge, getting a moment to pass by this creature as it was hindered for a second at the bridge by an arrow to its hind. And it's at this moment, as the cargo wagon, the horses, the prisoner wagon, all carry out onto this rock bridge. The sound of the stone, it almost sounds like cobblestone, as cluck, 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 as the wagons roll out over it. You notice no one's driving the cargo wagon, as it veers this way, veers this way, veers this way, hitting the side, and begins to tip over the side. There are three people, I should say, aboard the cargo wagon. 3 of the Lost Sons.
Why have they not taken the driver's seat?
There are three of the Lost Sons, your captors, aboard this cargo wagon. There are 2 horses attached to this cargo wagon. There is all of the Lost Sons' gear and supplies on this cargo wagon. This cargo wagon is about to go over the edge. Before it does, I will give everyone 1 turn. Brings us to the Hunger Shades, who also get 1 turn. All 3 of them step out onto the rock bridge, walking towards you. Grunkle, what would you like to do as you now stand inside this prison wagon?
You said that the cargo wagon was moving. Am I able to reach it from, like, if I press my body against, like, the front of my caravan? Nope. Can't reach my arm out?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, that's right. My arms are thick.
Yeah, I don't know if you could reach through these bars, actually.
Yeah, and my real arms aren't thick. So,
okay.
Yeah, no, good point. Okay, I'm in this caravan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling bad about life and reliving all of my worst experiences at Rockar Camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to do things.
We have 2 other players who need to take their turn in.
Yep,
5
sorry.
minutes.
No, I'll sit down. Sorry.
Okay. Grunkle takes a seat. Torvekek, you work so hard to get him up, and he's like, I must act. And he sits down.
Damn it.
When that brings us to you, what do you want to do?
I
Really
want
are
to.
fucking useless.
Which you is that?
What?
You said that brings us to you?
Carwyn, that brings us to you.
Oh, sorry. I missed that.
All good.
I would like to jump to this new caravan, the cargo caravan, and try and take control of the reins.
Okay. I'm going to need a standard athletics check.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay.
Carwyn, you dive onto the back of this wagon, this cargo wagon, as it's careening over the edge. I think I'm using that right.
You are.
Yes. I knew it'd come up eventually. It's careening, tipping over the edge of this stone bridge. Basically at this point getting dragged, like grinding the edge. You want to move to the driver's seat?
Yeah, and I want to I don't know if this would be an additional kind of thing, but to move the people to the other side to try and tip it back onto the bridge.
Okay.
Because there's someone in the seat that just isn't driving, right?
There is.
So I'd like to just push them aside and try and make them go over.
This is going to be another athletics check, and they are not helping in any way. They're basically limp-bodied, so it is going to be a challenging athletics check to get to the front and move them over. This is your second action.
Ugh.
29.
That sucks.
Why is your... Do you have terrible athletics?
I'm looking at this character and thinking, you're not very athletic.
Apparently not.
A 39.
Yeah, no, that's
Grunkle's
yeah.
like a 44, and that's what's considered.
This makes it so much more impressive when you were sprinting through the forest, catching up to
Yeah.
this caravan and launching yourself onto it. Absolutely ridiculous. Amazing. This not so amazing. You don't have any fortune points to reroll. You are unable to move this person out of the driver's seat. You have one action point left. What would you like to do?
So is it like a bench driver's seat? So are there two people like sitting in a bench?
Yes.
Or
There are two
Can I,
people
like-
sitting in it.
can I take the reins and put them in the other person's hands? Because they won't take them themselves. I don't know. Because I don't want to add to the weight.
Okay, you want to give the reins to the child next to him? A young boy, he's like early teenager, we'll say.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And I want to like make sure that I'm not contributing to it falling off.
Okay.
You know, not being on the side. Yeah. What would I roll for that?
Nothing. I'll allow that. That brings us to Torvekek. The last turn before we see what happens to this wagon. What would you like to do? Grunkle has sat down.
So
There are now 4
Daisy's
people on this
character,
wagon
right.
that is hanging off the edge of the stone bridge over a ravine.
So Daisy's character is on the supply wagon, but can't get the person off the driver's seat to be able to drive, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are my athletics? My athletics are not trained.
They're not. It rolls off your brawn, which you have a 54 in.
Oh, it does? Okay.
How are you not trained in athletics?
Because it's one of the things I've skipped over when I've done my man-at-arms training.
Actually, no. It's not even in your man-at-arms training.
Oh,
You
it's
don't
not, is
get
it?
athletics.
What the fuck?
I think we had this talk in season 1, and we were all blown away
We
that
did.
you wouldn't
Oh,
have athletics.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember
Good,
this.
bro.
So would this be agility trying to get over there, or would it be athletics?
It would be agility if you were like trying to like jump or like backflip or crawl over the thing, but athletics if you just want to run up to it. I could see it either way. I would let you argue it either way.
So which way is
Actually-
it trying to tip? Is it trying to tip away from
To be
the direction
clear,
of our cart?
agility isn't a roll, so it would be athletics.
Okay.
Correct that.
Is it tipping away from our cart, I guess?
You guys are on the bridge. It is hanging off the side of the bridge.
Is it stopped?
No. You're both still moving forward. It's basically like the bridge is here. Let me get this where you can see it. And it's basically riding the side moving forward.
Okay. I am a dwarf, so I am heavy.
And I'm digging a hole.
Is that actually okay? I'm 132 pounds. That's 4'6" dwarf. If I jumped onto the side of this cart, would it keep it on the bridge a little bit?
You are not
Or
sure.
is it
It
trying?
would take you 2 action points to get there and 2 athletic rolls to get there. You absolutely could try. And then you would have 1 other action point to use once you were on the cargo wagon.
Shit. Well, I ain't got much choice, do I?
What would you like?
Besides staying in the cart, watching it tip over the bridge.
You could sit down. Other people have done that.
Yeah. All right, I guess I'll try it and hope I don't fall to my death.
Okay, I need a athletics roll for your first action point. This is to
Standard.
get up. Yep, to get up over the.
And immediate fail.
Okay, you have 2 action points left. You could keep trying. It's just once you get to the cargo wagon, you won't have any action points left. You're gonna have to hope that what you did works. Roll your next athletics check. This is again to get across your current wagon.
All right, well, that's a success.
1 success. You've managed to get out. You've opened up the latch. You've gotten out around the side. You're climbing up the bars. You get up to where Carwyn was. You're on top of the prison wagon. You're going to run and you're going to jump onto the cargo wagon, attempting to land on the side that will hopefully weigh it down, bringing it back up to the rock bridge, correct?
Right.
I'm going to need one last athletics roll. You have no fortune points to reroll. This is the last turn before we see what happens.
Fuck.
Find out next
That's
time
pretty cool.
on King's Crossing. Thank you everyone for watching this episode 7 of King's Crossing. Huge shout out to my players for their involvement in this. We will see what happens to this in episode 9 next time on King's Crossing. Good night, everyone.